What we're going to do, here's somebody's list here, okay, is we're going to start here in the middle. Okay. That is
the left kidney.
Kidney, okay. Coming out of it is a vessel to carry urine called the ureter, going into your urinary bladder. Okay. So the bladder on a fetal animal then leads out to the placenta, right? So this is going to be the bladder in the middle. It's got two umbilical arteries, one either side of it, and we cut the umbilical vein that first day. So we have kidney, ureter, bladder. Okay. Then for the girl parts, we're going to have stuff spread out kind of like a letter Y. The little round knob at each end, that's going to be the ovary. Okay, hold the ovary right there. Now, normally, at the ovary, you're going to have oviducts. The oviducts here on the pig are real small. I'm not going to worry about them. They're just too small to work with. Now, the uterus has a different shape. When we look at it on the human, it's like an apple or pear shape to hold one or two babies at a time. These guys have a whole litter of babies. They need lots of space, so we want it to go up and fork. We're going to have the base of it called the body of the uterus. The forks are called the horns of the uterus. So out there at the ovary, the curly piece is the horn. Okay. We're going to take this horn of the uterus. We're going to take the horn on this side and look where the horns meet. Where they meet there, that's going to be the body of the uterus. Okay. So body's the vertical part. The horns are the curly parts. They're all uterus. That's where the babies would be. And then ovaries out there at the end. Okay. So that's the part we can see from the inside. Now, when we go out here, you've already got the canal cut open. You did a pretty good job. Going to make a couple of minor adjustments here. But otherwise, I think it's a pretty good shape. What we need to have down here is a series of 3 different pipes to look at. And we went a little far on the top one, but I think we can make it work still. Okay. So what we're going to have is this guy is part of the large intestine. When it gets down here, it's called the rectum. It's the straight piece. It's at the very back in green, and it leads out to the anus opening. Okay. Now in front of that, there's going to be 2 tubes. So we're going to have a total of 3. The top one right here is coming out of what body part? Where's the bladder. The bladder. This is called the urethra. So ureter going in, urethra coming out. Okay. So ureter's kidney to bladder, urethra's bladder to the outside. Okay. That's the top tube. The middle tube is coming from the body of the uterus. So the middle tube is going to be called the vagina. Okay. So you got 1 tube for urine, 1 tube for reproduction. Now right down here, both of those tubes, you'll notice, become a single tube. So what was 2 separate pieces now becomes a single piece. Okay. So we're going to have a common tube called the urogenital sinus. Sinus means a cavity or space. So urine and reproduction both empty into the sinus, means urine, reproduction, urogenital. Okay. What does the word orifice tell you? What is an orifice? It's the body opening, right? So the opening at the very back, right there, is the urogenital orifice. The bump is called the genital papilla, but that's the orifice where the urine comes out. That's where the baby would come out. So you've got 1 opening for fecal material, 1 for urine and reproduction combined. Okay. So again, that's the urogenital orifice. The space is called the urogenital sinus. It's formed by the urethra and the vagina joining to make a single tube. Okay. So look at that bottom list. Again, we're not worried about the oviduct, it's too small. Okay. But everything else, have we found all those? I want you to do a little digging for me right in this area. And what I want you to find, here's your aorta. Just before it gets to where it goes to the kidney, somewhere in that zone right there are going to be 2 little blood vessels going off different directions. One's going to go toward the liver, stomach, and spleen. One, which is probably right here, is going to go toward the intestines. That's that 2 arteries I was talking with him about, number 9 and 10 over there, are going to be in that little zone. Probably number 10 is going to be where I've got a hold of, and number 9 is probably over in here somewhere. See if you can kind of dig in through the